Hey, what's up, guys? Kyle Gallon back from the video, and today I want to do my Broncos strengths and weaknesses going into week, or not week, divisional round playoffs. So we're at home. We host the Bills at home. We host the Bills at home there in the divisional round. This is for all the marbles here to get to the AAC championship game. So what we need to do in the fixes there, mostly in the fixes there, what we did against the Chargers last week there, we need to mostly have Bo Nix there to mostly pass the ball there, try to throw the ball, mostly get him more comfortable this week there, and try to move the ball there. The ball is actually really good to muster there and to mostly push down the limits there, what Bo can actually do there for it. Do not, mostly, I'm going to say this, Bo, do not act like a statue like you did last week there. Try to move your legs there in this game there, because the Bills' defense there, the Bills can use that against you there. So we mostly need to do that there, get much better on that, and mostly practice on your ball handling and your in that there. For the defense there, we need to get much better on the pressuring there. Mostly our tackling has not been showing it a lot this year, so we need to mostly execute that going into this week there, or possibly into this playoff game. Because Josh Allen there, he's really hard to stop. Josh Allen is really hard to stop there, so we need to execute this there and stuff like that. So we need to mostly do that there, get better on the tackling there, and mostly move the sticks there, or possibly move it there. So that's mostly going into the week there. So we're at home. We host the Bills at home and Power Field at Mile High for the divisional round playoffs. So we still hold the number one seed. We don't know if KJ Dobbins is back, but I'm going to say he might be back in this game because I'm possibly recording this during Sunday. So the Patriots and the wild card games have not ended. They're mostly recording this video, so just going to point that out. So mostly we play the Bills there. So what we need to do there, the Bills there are possibly weak against the run. They're actually weak against the run there. So we need to use KJ Dobbins there. We need to use RJ Harvey and Jamal McLaughlin there to mostly execute that there in the play there. Try to find those holes there with Dobbins there, because the Bills there, mostly watching the Jacksonville game there, they kind of mostly open up some pockets there and stuff. The Jaguars have mostly closed up the pockets there and stuff like that. So we need to execute that there. Or mostly not really. The Jaguars found some pockets there to mostly exploit this Bills defense there. So mostly if we can run the ball there, execute that there, find some pockets, find some holes there, and try to execute in the play. I'm going to say this, try to get first downs, executing the play, and move the sticks. We need to move the sticks there if we're using the ground game there, because the ground game might be a real big factor in this game there, going against Buffalo there. So we need to use the ground game efficiently there. Because the Bills actually have they're pretty weak against the ground. They're really weak against the ground there. So we really need to execute that there and really move the ball, move the execution there, and move the sticks there. And plus, also keeping Josh Allen on the sideline. Keep him on the sideline there. If he's outside the sideline there, he is mostly dangerous when he's on the field. If we can keep Allen on the sideline there, mostly how we're going to do it. Put control of the time of the possession of the ball. So we need to mostly execute that there. We need to get time possession of the ball, get first downs, execute the play, and then punch it in the red zone. Because if we can punch it in the red zone there and score touchdowns there, we could be much better off if we can actually fully do that there. Punch it in, score it in there, and score the touchdowns there. That's what we need to do against the Bills' defense there. Because the Bills' defense is not really that good at stopping the run there. So that's technically we'll use that as a thing there. For the passing game there, try to find the Cortland Sutton or find Cortland Sutton and find Brian there and try to throw the ball there, execute that there, try to find their targets there, find them in the flats there, because mostly the Bills there on their passing game, they're pretty weak against the flat there, so they like to go down. They're not that good against the middle there. No, not really the middle, but they're not that good against the screen. So technically what Sean Payton's really good at is against the screen. So technically we need to use that as a screen pass there. So we need to mostly execute that there, use it as a screen, and mostly execute that in the play and possession there. So find Pat Bryan, find Cortland Sutton, try to get those screen passes and affection there for it. So that's what we need to do on the offensive side. And then also for the offensive side, get first downs, execute the play, move the sticks. Because if we move the sticks there, we might mostly try to punch it in the red zone there. So that's what we need to do on the defense or on the offensive front. Try to find Cortland Sutton in the flat, try him in the route there, and try to find those heavy targets in this game. So that's what we need to do on our offense. So let's move on to the defensive side there. So for the defensive side there, Josh Allen there. This guy can actually move his feet there. He actually has mostly like a move there to move his feet there. We've been struggling against quarterbacks there who can actually move their feet there. But Josh Allen, he's not like a Trevor Lawrence where he goes up the step there, and mostly Trevor Lawrence had burned us in that one game against them, or Trevor Lawrence had burned us in that one game when we played against Jacksonville. So Josh Allen's not the same guy there. He likes to go up the center. He loves to go up there. So technically, we need to keep his eyes on Josh Allen there. He's kind of like Patrick Mahomes type of guy there. Technically, Allen is kind of like a Patrick Mahomes type of guy. So we need to mostly keep him locked there, have Nick Bonito, have Jonathan Cooper eyeing him the whole time there, and put his ass on the ground. Well, if we can put we can put Allen's ass on the ground there, he might be a little bit hard to stop there, but if we can mostly double team him there and mostly execute that there and double team him there, and mostly he might be going down on the ground there because he can actually break out like three guys to definitely maybe quad him there, put a whole like stack on him. He won't move if there's mostly like three guys on him. If there's three guys on him there, he will possibly not move as much there, but when he starts running, keep his eyes on him, lock him down, do not let him escape. Do not let him escape there and execute that in the play there. So, yes, we need to mostly do that and execute that in the play. So, we will see what actually happens on that part there for it. For the running game for James Cook there, we need to mostly have Greenlaw there. Greenlaw locking down mostly we need Greenlaw there to lock down James Cook. James Cook there, he can actually go down the middle and up the center there. He's actually that mostly guy who honestly we really need to lock down. So James Cook there, we need to cram up the middle there. Do not let him go. Execute that there and put him on the ground. Put him on the ground there. Have Benito, have Muthunga on his ass there. Have Muthunga on his ass, and do not let him go, Muthunga. That's your job. You need to lock him down. And actually, same with Greenlaw. Greenlaw also needs to lock him down. So Greenlaw needs to lock him down in this game also. So that might be an interesting game, interesting there, because technically he loves to go on that side to the middle. He loves to go up the middle there, and he also can stutter step. He can also juke. So we mostly need to watch him when he does his jukes moves. So technically we need to mostly have Greenlaw on his ass and not let him go there. Not let him fucking go there. So, for the wide receivers there, we need PS2 to lock down their number one best wide receiver. Lock him down. Do not, wherever he goes, lock his ass down. Mostly PS2, you need to lock him down there and mostly cover him up there. Lock him down. Do not let him wherever he goes and lock him down. Because technically, if you do not lock him down, we're massively gonna struggle him. He's gonna find his opening lanes there. So we need to lock him down. Do not let him go there. PS2, that's your job there, to mostly lock him down and not let him execute in the play there. Technically, not let him execute in the play there and try to mostly have that there and mostly lock him down for that reason there. Because if you let him go there, he can easily catch those balls from Josh Allen. So we need to mostly lock him down. Do not let him get anywhere. Lock him down. Lock him down. Do not let him go anywhere. PS2, that's your job. Lock him down. Lock the R1 down. For the second R2, Riley Moss, you need to lock him down. So we need to lock him down. Do not let him wherever he fucking goes. Lock him down. Do not let him wherever he fucking goes and mostly whatever he fucking does there. Lock him down. Do not let him escape there. Because if you let him escape, he will definitely burn you in the clutches there. He's that good against the clutches there and stuff. So technically, Riley, you need to mostly follow wherever he fucking goes. Lock him down. Do not let him go. And execute that in the play there. For that there, we know mostly Josh Allen loves to use his legs, so we really need a spy on Allen. We need a spy on Allen there. So that's what I'm going to say there for that. We need a spy on him, kind of run a little bit zone man type of deal there. I think we need to run blitz on his ass, because what the Jaguars did to him today, kind of stopping him a little bit there, does kind of help us there with the man and blitz there. So technically, I think we need to stop him with a man and blitz type of zone there. Zone coverage, man blitz coverage or so. We need to do that there. Put it a little bit of man, a little bit of zone, and a little bit of blitz on him, and you will possibly beat him in the clutches there. So for the tight end there, we need to mostly have Greenlaw and Muthunga walking down the tight end there, because technically the tight end there, it's not really the best tight end there. He's not really the best one, but technically lock him down. Do not let him wherever he goes and lock his ass down. Do not let him go there. Do not let him get into the flat. Do not let him get into the front there, because technically if you get him in the flat in the front there, he's possibly going to be burning you for first downs. So we need to execute that there and burn him there. Lock him down. Put his ass on the ground. Do not let him get yards. Do not let him get yards there. And mostly execute that there. Mostly covering up the man there. Cover up the zone. And that's what we need to do in the defensive front there. And that's how we're possibly going to win in the defensive front. So, in the special teams there, have Marlon Mims there. Return punts there. Have him return punts, because he's really good and been returning punts there, and kickoffs there, so let him have kickoffs and punt returns there. And mostly for the special teams there, protect Will Lutz and try to protect him there, so the Bills won't block for a field goal there, and try to do that there and try to block him there and stuff like that for it. So that's what we need to do against Buffalo there. That's what we need to do against Buffalo on this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Comment, rate, more sponsors, Tuesday Bros. We like Bros. Please subscribe for the benefit from Super Bowl sponsors. Comment, sponsors, Tuesday Bros. Like her out, and peace.